Singing people looked up, and there stood Moses on a rock just above them. He looked 10 feet tall. Absolute shocked silence. Then Moses raised his arms and hurled the tablets of the law down at the calf. They fell short and smashed to pieces. Moses felt his life was smashed too. He walked through the people, and they parted for him like the sea had parted for them. But days passed, and Moses sat alone. He felt very discouraged. The people were afraid and ashamed. God's revenge was likely to be dreadful. God was not thinking of revenge. He was rethinking the whole project of teaching this people to deserve to be his chosen. The next day he called on Moses and outlined the new plans. No revenge, he said. The promise about giving them a beautiful land to live in still stands. But from now on, every rule and law and order I give must be obeyed without question. The festivals and the Sabbath to be observed to the letter. No gods but me. I'll give you another set of tablets and an exact design for the tabernacle to keep them in. Everyone shall contribute to its making, and it will be holy and perfect and called the Ark. It will require many different materials, from acacia wood and goat's hair to gold and onyx. It will be carried from place to place for the rest of the journey, and your brother Aaron shall be the priest in charge. At every place it will be the center of the camp and of the people's lives. Above it, reaching to heaven, I will set a cloud. When the cloud moves on, the people will move on. Not until. All the people will live humbly and quietly and learn all my laws from the teachers and obey every one. All this was done, and the people followed the cloud and journeyed on, and at last came to the borders of Canaan. God told Moses to send out 12 men, one from each tribe, to spy out the land and to bring back reports about it, for this was the land promised, the promised land. Off they went in all different directions. Now, you might say, why should God need spies? Well, keep that golden calf in mind. God was still teaching a people respect, and the lesson wasn't over yet. Anyway, the 12 men came back at last, and all agreed that the land was rich and had everything. A land, they said, flowing with milk and honey. But, they told the people, the cities of the land are like forts, like mountains. Many different tribes live in the land. Each tribe tens of thousands, and the people of the tribes are huge, giants. And every time they told their story, they alarmed the Israelites more. The people grew full of fear and anger against Moses, who had brought them all this way to be killed by giants. They held meetings full of madness. Let us choose a leader, they screamed, and go back to Egypt. Moses wept. But the Lord tapped him on the shoulder. Moses, said God, when we were on Sinai together, and the people made an idol of gold, and I wanted to destroy them, you stopped me, and I gave them all another chance. I gave them also my instructions and rules regarding how people should live in the world I made. All this into their care, because they are descended from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I brought them out of Egypt. I drowned their enemies in the sea. I gave them food and drink in the desert. I showed them miracles, and still they have no faith in me. Moses waited. God sounded more sad than angry. Moses, said God, take them all back in the wilderness for another 40 years. During that time, the lessons will go on, and every person over 20 who spoke against me today will die. Their children shall enter the land, not they. And so it was. As it worked out, not even Moses entered the promised land. He saw it from a nearby mountain. And then he went to God and sat down by his side, and God was pleased. A difficult story to end, this one. Should something be underlined? A moral pointed? No, it's not my place. Rather, if you will permit me, I will end with a greeting from the book this story came from. It goes like this. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you peace.